I was introduced to the world of research through engineering project designs that focused on technology development and innovation. The vocabulary used within this environment differs considerably from the vocabulary I have come to practice thus far in academic research. I was first exposed to academic research terms during my enrollment in a professionalism and scholarly practice course that I completed as part of my adult teaching certificate. This, along with my successful completion of online technology and education, formed a small foundation upon which the development of my academic research vocabulary is being built through various forms in research methods and education. To illustrate the process of how I learn, I have modeled the format of this presentation around the three pillars of my learning process, which include independent study to create written notes, i.e. this script, listening to a peer or professor discuss and apply new concepts, such as a voiceover or the narrative you're hearing, and visual presentations to symbolize new terms, such as engaging photographs or symbols to represent visual images of new concepts and terms. As described by Dr. Lorraine Robertson in our reference text, a research paradigm determines the lens in which a researcher looks through in order to carry out a research study as they search for what lies at the truth of a given situation or group perspective. Prior to this course, based on my technical background, I gravitated toward research studies that could substantiate their conclusions using hard numbers and facts. However, following the review and discussion of other research paradigms in academia, I now see that each research situation is unique, and measured data may not always be the best research approach to describe a group's perspective or situational point of view. Using articles discussed thus far in this course as support, I will discuss both the traditional positivistic paradigm and the more modern interpretive naturalistic approach to academic research. Known as the scientific approach, as the goal of Shawnee and hopeful articles suggest, it is common that the positivistic research paradigm employ the use of quantitative methodology techniques to gather research data through means of surveys or questionnaires which serve as a measurement tool. The results of the surveys are analyzed mathematically to determine if generalizable results can be concluded. To determine if the identification of student learning styles could appropriately select the use of teaching technology in a post-secondary classroom, Said, Yang, and Sinapan conducted research that is categorized under the positivistic research paradigm. In this described study, evidence of the paradigm is clear, as the researchers begin their study with two well-defined hypothesis statements that are tested through quantifiable measurement. The numeric data collection process was performed through the use of prescribed questionnaires that were statistically analyzed to draw conclusions that relate directly to the original hypotheses. The use of the positivistic approach in research is seen by some as having shortcomings, in that human social behaviors cannot be described through pure measurement and physical laws, but rather is best described through observation and entrenchment of the researcher within the social situation that is being studied. A more modern approach to research is the naturalistic or interpretive paradigm, where the researcher is typically viewed as the feedback mechanism and qualitative methodologies are employed. Open-ended questions allow participants to provide more descriptive, rich feedback regarding their experiences in a social setting. As the hopeful article illustrates, in this paradigm, the researcher's reason for inquiry is to gain a better appreciation and perspective of a given phenomenon or situation at hand through natural observation. Fade proposes that the study of a given phenomenon could be carried out using a qualitative framework titled Interpretive Phenomenological Analysis, or IPA, where the researcher seeks to describe an in-depth portrayal of a situation from an internal member's point of view. The researcher's findings are explained in the form of a narrative that follows rigorous, layered analysis of transcripts or video-recorded interviews. In the naturalistic paradigm, The researcher's intimate interaction with the transcribed data exposes key concepts and matters that formulate predominant themes in the research study to provide new findings or comprehension of a given phenomenon that could not otherwise be described quantifiably through scientific methodology. The goal of Shawnee article suggests that the trustworthiness of research studies categorized under the naturalistic paradigm is dependent upon the credibility of the researchers and their findings. Given that interpretation is synonymous with this paradigm, the topic of credibility is of great significance when considering such research terms as validity and reliability. Recent discussion and class presentations have begun probing the notion of triangulation to test reliability and validity in qualitative research. I look forward to our continued discussion around these terms as our class progresses in research methods in education.